Hello everyone, welcome to the course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture we are going to study the concept of member in parallel. Member in parallel, it is also known as composite section. Now what does it mean? If two or more members of different material are connected rigidly together and if they are subjected to the load, then the combination is called as composite member or member in parallel. So from figure you can see that there are two sections of different material. This is section 1 and section 2. The section 1 has the modulus of elasticity E1, whereas the section 2 has the modulus of elasticity E2. Both the sections are rigidly connected together in such a way that it will act as a one unit, and this system is subjected to the external load P. Now as those are rigidly connected to each other, the deformation in member 1 will be equal to the deformation in member 2. That is, delta L1 will be equal to delta L2. This is the key concept when the member is in parallel, because the same thing we have to apply to solve the numerical. Now as the members are parallel to each other, it will act as a one unit, and therefore the deformation in both the member will be same. Therefore delta L1 will be equal to delta L2. Now all of you know that how to calculate the value of deformation in the body. The deformation in the body can be given by PL upon AE. Now in our case we have two members which are parallel to each other and their deformation is same. Therefore this will be P1 L1 upon A1 E1. Sorry, here it is E1 and E2. You consider it as E1 and E2. Sorry, this is remaining. So you consider it as P1 L1 upon A1 E1, which is equal to P2 L2 upon A2 E2. After solving it, if I have L1 and L2 as a different value, then I am having sigma 1 L1 upon E1, which is equal to sigma 2 L2 upon E2. This sigma value is from the relation of sigma is equal to P upon A. Therefore we have this relation. But if L1 and L2 both are same, then it will get cancelled. We have the remaining equation sigma 1 upon E1, which is equal to sigma 2 upon E2. As we know that by using Hooke's law, sigma upon E is nothing but it is the strain. Therefore we will apply this to material 1 and material 2. Therefore the strain in 1 and strain in 2 will be same. So you have to remember that when the members are connected in parallel or for the composite section, the strain in both the material will be same. Therefore epsilon 1 is equal to epsilon 2. Now after solving this equation for the sigma 1 from the equation 1, if I solve it for the sigma 1, I have E1 upon E2 into sigma 2. Therefore I have sigma 1 is equal to m into sigma 2, where m is known as the modular ratio. What is modular ratio? Modular ratio is the ratio of modulus of elasticity of two material, means the material 1 and material 2. To apply for the modular ratio, remember that your E1, as we know that modular ratio is equal to E1 upon E2. Therefore remember that E1 upon E2, to apply the modular ratio, your E1 value, it must be greater than E2 value. You have to remember the key concept in the case of modular ratio. For the case of modular ratio, your modulus of elasticity of material 1 must be greater than the modulus of elasticity of 2, and it is the ratio of these two values. As E1 is greater than E2, the modular ratio is always greater than 1. Why it is greater than 1? Because the numerator is greater than the denominator. It means that the value of modular ratio is always greater than 1. Therefore the total load total load will be the load shared by material 1 and the load shared by the material 2. As the body, it will act as a one unit, therefore the load will be shared by both the material, and that load will be the summation of material 1 and the summation of load of material 2. Therefore we have the final equation P is equal to P1 plus P2. It indicates that the total load will be shared by section 1 and the section 2. But all of you know that sigma is equal to P by A. Therefore P is equal to sigma A. On putting the value of P in this equation, I have P is equal to sigma 1 A1 plus sigma 2 A2. So this is the final relation for the composite section. For the composite section, we have to remember that the members are rigidly connected to each other in a parallel way, and it is subjected to the same load. Same load means the material load will be shared by material 1 and the load will be shared by the material 2, and the deformation in the material will be same. So this is the final key concept of the member in parallel. Now we will discuss a numerical based on the member in parallel or a composite member. The statement is as follows: a square RCC column is 300 mm by 300 mm in cross section. It is reinforced with 4 bar of 20 mm diameter. Determine the load carrying capacity of the column if allowable stresses in the concrete and steel are 7 MPa and 140 MPa respectively. E of steel is equal to 200 GPa and the modular ratio M is equal to 13. Now from the numerical, we have a square RCC column of size 300 mm by 300 mm. So all of you know that it is the section of the column is square one and it is made up of RCC material. Now what is RCC? It is a reinforced cement concrete. Reinforced cement concrete means it is a combination of concrete and the steel, and those are, so it will act as a composite member. As it will act as a composite member, so it is a numerical of composite member, and therefore we have the main relation of composite member. The strain in concrete will be equal to strain in steel. This is the key concept for the composite member. Strain in both the material will remain same, and the load carried by steel and the load carried by concrete will be the total load. Therefore we have, from the numerical, we have area of column which is equal to 300 mm by 300 mm. Therefore it will become 90,000 mm square. Now we have, it is reinforced with 4 bar of 20 mm diameter, means the size of the bar is 20 mm and the number is 4 bar. Therefore area of the steel will become AS is equal to N into pi by 4 into ds square. So it means that the area will be equal to 1256.64 mm square. Now remember that the area of the column, entire column including the steel and concrete, it is 90,000 mm square, and the area of the steel is 1256.64 mm square. Therefore once you know the area of column and the area of steel, we can easily find out the area of concrete. Area of concrete can be given by the total area of column minus the area of the steel. Therefore we have total area of column 90,000 minus the area of the steel 1256.64. On subtraction of this value, I have the area of concrete which is equal to 88,743.36 mm square for the composite member. Now as discussed in previous slide, all of you know that for the member in parallel or the composite member, the strain in both the material will be same, that is epsilon 1 will be equal to epsilon 2. Therefore as strain in both the material is same, we have sigma c upon EC is equal to sigma s upon ES. Strain in both the material is same means by using Hooke's law, strain is equal to sigma upon E, and by using this concept we have sigma s is equal to Es upon Ec into sigma c. Now all of you know that the modulus of elasticity of the steel is greater than modulus of elasticity of the concrete. So M, all of you know, M is equal to E1 upon E2. It's the modular ratio, and as the modular ratio, it is the ratio of modulus of elasticity of material 1 to the 2. Therefore E1 is greater than E2. Now, but the value of modular ratio, it is already given in the numerical. Therefore M is equal to 13. This M will be equal to 13, and that value we will put into this equation. Therefore sigma S is equal to 13 into sigma C. Now in the numerical it is also given that the allowable stresses in the concrete and steel will be 7 MPa and 140 MPa respectively. Allowable stresses means this is the maximum value of the stress in the concrete and the steel. Means our value of stress should not be greater than 7 MPa for the concrete and 140 MPa for the steel. Therefore we have maximum allowable stress in concrete as a 7 MPa. Therefore sigma S is equal to 13 into 7, which is equal to 91 MPa, which is less than 140 MPa. Meaning whatever the value we have calculated from this equation for the value of sigma S, our value maximum stress is less than 140 MPa. So it is a check. So our design is safe. Now the another condition for the composite section is load carrying capacity. The load carrying capacity P is equal to PC plus PS, means the total load will be equal to the load shared by material 1 plus the load shared by material 2. Therefore we have sigma CAC plus sigma SAS. After putting all the values, we have the total load is equal to 735 plus 55 kilonewton. Now as per the given data, we have to determine the total load carrying capacity of the column, and that we have determined by using the key concept of strain in member 1 will be equal to the strain in member 2, and the key concept of total load shared by material 1 and 2. So we will stop here. In the next lecture we will discuss about the concept of thermal stress. Thank you.